Thanks for joining us, Mike. What were your key takeaways from the debate last night?
Hey, Chris, thanks so much for having me on the show. You know, I watched debate a little bit different than everybody else. Obviously, I was covering it last night for that other network. And I've been watching all of these debates from August, September, as we've whittled the field down from 8 to where we are now. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis yesterday lobbied a lot of personal attacks. And obviously, she promoted that website that her team spun up of all the lies that DeSantis has told. And you should check out the site because it actually is pretty good in terms of what it points out. But I just thought DeSantis, looking at it objectively, I thought DeSantis yesterday hit back on a few different things. Policy-wise, he was able to articulate some certain things. But I thought the personal attacks between the two of them, you could tell at the end of the night, the moderator, Jake Tapper, asked a question about what do you like about each other? And Nikki Haley's response was, I like that he's governor. And you can tell that this is starting to weigh on her and it's personal. And I think the winner of the debate, to me, doesn't matter because it's all about Monday. And we find out truly who's going to caucus for the former president, who's going to caucus for Ron DeSantis, who's going to trek in treacherous weather and 7-degree weather to caucus for Nikki Haley. And I'm truly interested to see what shakes out here, who places in the top 3, and where do we go from here now that Chris Christie is out of the race as we head into New Hampshire?
And Mike, what impact do you think last night's debate will have on the results this Monday?
Well, I think for both of the candidates yesterday, and they've been doing town halls with some other networks this whole week, people are not watching it like I'm watching it, every single debate glued in. So there is an opportunity there to talk to Iowa voters about why they should caucus. My alma mater is Rutgers University. We happened to play Iowa last week in basketball. All throughout the game, there was ads from each of these folks. Nikki Haley alluded to it in the debate about the $150 million that DeSantis has burned through. She spent about $15 million just in December on advertising placements all throughout different local and regional networks. So the two of them have been getting out there. Obviously, DeSantis visited all 99 counties. He's putting all his chips in this basket for Iowa. I don't know if there's going to be an upset Monday, given all of the polling data, but I will say that when you mix in all of the factors and that the Trump caucus goers in a recent poll on another network, 83% say they would caucus for him versus 16% say they may change. I just don't see a way either of DeSantis or Haley actually win in Iowa.
And also last night, former President Trump was at a town hall hosted by Fox News. Vivek Ramaswamy was on Tim Pool's podcast. With GOP candidates on 3 different platforms at the same time, how does that affect voters?
That's really well said. A very, very great question because I'm sitting here watching the debate for CNN. I'm trying to listen to the town hall as well. There was overlap because one was an hour, the other one was 2 hours. I think for voters right now, there's an overload of content, and I'm obviously in the content game and have had some of these folks on my show as well. So it's an overload of where you're getting information. I think for Iowa caucus goers right now, it's real simple. The choice is pretty clear. You voted for Donald Trump in 2020 in this state, 53% over Joe Biden. Are you going to come out in full force again? Do you feel some of these things are politically motivated that he's been charged with? And then for the upstart ones, the traditional Republicans, the more moderate folks in the Iowa base, do you take the endorsement of Governor Kim Reynolds and Bob Vanderplaats and factor in Ron DeSantis and the work that he's done in Florida? Or do you want somebody like a Nikki Haley that could potentially win a general electorate and get more independence on her side? So I think that's what we're really going to see play out in Iowa. I mean, Iowa's always a traditional red state. The real key is going to be New Hampshire. As they always say, Iowa picks corn and New Hampshire picks president. So these next 8 to 10 days are going to be really crucial as we shape the GOP presidential nominee for 2024.
And just in closing here, Mike, last night, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie suspended his campaign. Who are his supporters likely to go to?
So, I mean, his supporters, according to polling data, show that 64% would be likely to go to Nikki Haley, according to a recent CNN poll. When Vivek Ramaswamy said on the stage in one of the debates, I believe it was the third debate, about Chris Christie's campaign being solely to target the former president, I think that kind of shattered the glass for a lot of people that were thinking about maybe Chris Christie could be somebody who would vote for in the party. Remember, this is a blue state governor, red, obviously, won it twice. And I thought he would translate a little bit better to the national stage as that candidate that could sway independents and moderates. He just never got the traction that he needed. And I think he suspended it at the right time, too, to be able to give folks the chance to let this process play out over these next 8 days. It's crucial for Nikki Haley's campaign.
All right. Mike Leon, host of the Can We Please Talk podcast. Thank you so much.